Iansan is my coach. I look up to her the most out of anyone. She helped me discover my true strength, taught me how to fight, and even got me a job in our tribe's patrol team. She's pretty well respected in the patrol team, so most of the time she gives me my orders, and I go join the fighting wherever I'm needed. I guess that makes her both my coach and my commander too. Oh, I've seen her name in the Reader's Letters column of some comic books. Granny Eatsley is extremely well respected. She's the most powerful hero from the Masters of the Nightwind. But I gotta say, I always assumed she'd look way older. I didn't recognize her at all when I found her in the tavern in a drunken stupor. She didn't have a single mora on her, and she was mumbling to herself, but the only words I can make out were Masters of the Nightwind. So I paid her bill, threw her over my shoulder, carried her over to the Masters of the Nightwind, and started asking around for Granny Eatsley. But whenever people turned to look at this person slumped over my shoulder, a look of horror would creep over their face. And then it slowly started to dawn on me that something wasn't quite right. Oh, isn't she that big boss lady who's surprisingly small, but still has infinitely deep pockets? Oof, she's a fierce haggler. Every time she comes to buy fruit from us, she manages to slash at least 30 to 40% off the selling price. And that's on a good day. On the plus side, though, at least she buys huge amounts, multiple cartloads at a time. And she lets me pet her shaggy sumpter beast. It's so fluffy and such a big cutie. Mrs. Escoffier has really strict standards. Every time her restaurant places a bulk order for my fruit, she picks out a few for... what's it called? Yeah, sample analysis. If the sweetness or flavor is even slightly off, she rejects the whole batch. But then again, her cooking? Out of this world! So delicious. If only I could eat it every day. I guess I'd probably have to be a god to afford that. I haven't entered the pilgrimage that many times, but once I came up against Kinich during the group stage. That guy is so nimble. He was just dodging all of my moves until I completely exhausted myself. Then he knocked me out cold with one hit. By the time I realized that maybe I should get my teammates to help me pin him down, he and the Sacred Flame were long gone. Coach Iansan says that even though most of the monsters out there are a piece of cake for me now, I've still got a long way to go. Because the most formidable foes are the ones that take a whole team of heroes working together as one. I'm making sure to follow her training plan every day. It's just... controlling my diet is part of the plan, so I can't really eat deep-fried food or anything full of cream and sugar when she's watching. She says that stuff's unhealthy, but it tastes so good! And I get cravings, so sometimes when I can't resist it anymore, I go to my secret campsite for a snacking session. If you and I ever go for a big feast together, please make sure you keep it a secret. I heard that the plates Mavuika uses on her barbell lifts are 5 times the weight of her flame strider, and that she uses 10 plates minimum just as a warm-up. I also heard a rumor that she can lift a boulder the size of a long-necked rhino with just 2 fingers. If anyone else was crazy strong like that, I'm sure I'd be too self-conscious to lift weights in front of them. But with Mavuika, it's different. I find the sound of her voice so reassuring, and the look in her eyes is so inspiring and encouraging. It makes me want to push myself as hard as I possibly can every single day. Sure, I may never catch up to her, but that's no excuse to give up. I'm gonna believe in myself and be the best Varesa I can be. There was this time when Coach Iansan noticed I'd overshot my target weight and decided I needed a cutting phase. Since swimming's supposed to be good for fat burning, she arranged for me to do an intensive program over at the People of the Springs territory. I'd be there swimming lengths while Mualani was surfing around and towing Coach Iansan in a life preserver so she could monitor my progress. Every day, she made me do pretty much the same distance as I do in my 30,000-step shuttle runs. Oh, thank goodness Mualani was secretly slipping me some candy to keep my energy up. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have survived. I'm so grateful to her. When I was learning my crafting skills from the Children of Echoes, Mahuru's Gemporium is where I went to study. The craftspeople there talked about Xilonen all the time. I actually only saw her around once or twice, and I never got the chance to talk to her, but boy did I get familiar with her music taste. She put together the playlist they have on in the shop, and all the tracks are super catchy. Really good beats, perfect for running too. I swear I can go for way longer on my shuttle runs when that stuff's playing.